During my day job as a software developer, I started having pain in my hands as I typed. Specifically, my pinky was hurting, especially when I was pressing the control key. This was a big problem. I hit the control key all the time. For example, control backtick to toggle the terminal in VS Code, and control left bracket for an easier to reach alternative to the escape key when switching modes in Vim. I use my hands every day to write code, so I need to find a solution as soon as possible. One of the recommendations from the ergonomics folks at my job was the Moonlander keyboard from ZSA. Now that the keyboard has arrived, I'm realizing just how different it is from any other keyboard I've used in the past. The differences start immediately with the setup. This is a wired keyboard with two parts. They need to be connected together with standard 3.5mm TRRS cable and connected to your computer with a USB-C cable. At first, I didn't have the cables plugged in correctly. The lights came on and I was able to type, but it wasn't entering the keys I expected. Make sure you have the plugs all the way clicked in before deciding your keyboard is broken. After a brief orientation touring the default layout, I was ready to customize it. This is very much intended. The base layer even includes a blank key to encourage customization. With a columnar layout of the Moonlander, my pinkies were already happy not having to move as far, but this keyboard is super customizable. You can program the keys to do just about anything. Since I was having the most trouble with pressing the control key, I wondered if there was a way to use control without my pinky. There are two options that stood out to me as I browsed various Reddit threads about it: thumb keys or Home Row Modifiers. Since I used Vim, I have decades of experience using the home row for navigation, so having another way to keep my fingers on the home row had a huge appeal to me. Finding the home row mods a relatively easy adjustment, but I discovered quickly playing Epistory, the typing game, that home row mods are not particularly compatible with gaming. Thankfully, the Moonlander has a feature called layers that can help with that. You can think of the caps lock key on a normal keyboard as a layer switcher. When caps lock is on, all of the letter keys are swapped with their uppercase variants. The default layout for Moonlander comes with 3 layers: the base layer, a numpad or lighting layer, and a music/configuration layer. If you use the home row mods, I recommend creating a layer for gaming where the letter keys are just normal keys, and add back some shift, control, and other common gaming keys. To make it easier to reset, the default layout includes a reset key on layer 2, but since I replaced my layer 2, I'll put one in layer 1. After a day of that layout, I realized I've been accidentally switching layers, especially as I relearn where these keys are. For example, the Y key is much closer to my index finger than on a regular staggered keyboard layout, so I keep overshooting and hitting my layer switch key. My pinky is much shorter than my other fingers, so I realized that the top right of the keyboard is kind of hard for me to reach unless I use my ring finger, which is kind of an awkward angle. That makes those keys a good candidate for some of the less frequently used utility keys. It also makes me appreciate the smaller keyboards like the Voyager more, which makes sure all the keys are within easy reach. As a programmer, I had fun rearranging some of my commonly used symbol keys. Putting the bracket keys where I can easily hit them with my index finger feels great. It also felt quite satisfying to pull up the keycaps and move them where I wanted them. However, the change that brought me the most joy has actually been the numpad layer. I decided to add a calculator button. It's a small thing, but it brings a smile to my face to be able to quickly switch to numpad mode and do a quick calculation. This is an expensive keyboard, but I've been able to avoid pain and make a layout that suits my needs well. By thinking about which keys need to be easy to hit, finding joy in the process, and iterating, I've been able to get productive with this keyboard pretty quickly. The customizable keyboard community is very passionate, and I'm quickly becoming a devotee as well. Do you have a keyboard like this? Are you thinking about getting one? What would you change about my layout? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, and bye.